Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey sis, how you doing today?
I'm so good, sis. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. You looking beautiful.
Thank you. So are you. Skin is glowing.
Hey. Hey
Period.
everybody, welcome to another Sunday and another Vanities Live. We are so excited to have you. And we got a really special guest today. I'm really excited about seeing her again. So
Same here. I really am too. I enjoy working with this lady. She's so talented. I feel like I learned so much just by watching her.
yes,
She's like that. She's like that.
total experts, total experts.
Yeah.
You guys want to make sure you're tuning in if you're on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. We're excited to have you. Tell a friend because if you want to know something about wigs, today is the day. Okay, you want to
It
make
is
sure
any day.
that
Today.
make sure you add your comments because you know what, you can get some questions answered about wigs today right here on Vanity Slide.
Yes, you can. And we hope everybody enjoyed your Christmas holiday with your families. We on our way out of 2024, y'all. On
Yes,
our way out, we headed into a new season, new blessings, new beginnings, new everything. The old is shedding and the new is coming in. So I'm so excited about that. So many new things for Vanity's Live and with Sharice and I just in general. It's gonna be lit, y'all. It's up. It's always up.
no, I'm excited. I'm so
Me
excited.
too, girl. Me too. I really am.
So what's going on with these current events here?
Honey. Y'all want to know some current events?
Some
Here's
jump that.
some current events going on in the TV and film world. Now, some of y'all have kids, but you ain't gotta be a kid to love this series because I do. I've always been I've always been a Spider-Man kind of fan.
Okay.
But Disney Plus is releasing a 10 episode season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man
Okay.
on January 29th, 2025. So that's something new for the kiddos to watch. The trailer for James Gunn's Superman introduces David Corsenwitz, Cal-El, to the new DCU. So it look like we got some new characters coming. Um,
They
Captain
upgrading
America, which I'm
Superman.
also a fan of, huh?
So they're upgrading Superman.
They look like they adding some people to the
Okay.
team. And then Captain America, which I'm always also a fan of. Captain America: Brave New World returns in this movie. Captain America is coming back.
All right.
Um, and then we have Anthea Silbert, the two-time Oscar-nominated costume designer. She passed at the tender age of 84. And so let's send our love and our Vanities Live hearts to Anthea Silbert and her family. Those
Absolutely.
are our
We will keep her in our prayers.
absolutely and your family. And I'm sure we really need to, do some more research on some more of these icons in the
Yes.
industry. We got to keep their names ringing, y'all. We
Because
got to
they've
keep
done
their names
so
ringing.
much. And, a lot of people don't know all the great work, as we talk about all the time, that happens behind the scenes. But when you got icons who've done all this work, we need to let the people know.
The
We
people
need to
need to
let,
know. Yeah.
yes,
There's people in the industry that don't know, just because
absolutely.
it's you may not have worked with someone before, you may have. There's a lot of people in this industry, even though it's still kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we just gotta and that's why the Vanities Live is so good because we just get to connect with all these amazing, talented people in the industry like we're about to do today.
I mean, we've had
So
some
before we do,
amazing guests. What's going to happen before we do?
before we do,
Before we do, what we
I feel
doing
like
next?
you got a little something up your sleeve. What
I
you
got
got
a
up your
little something up my sleeve, and I'm hoping you guys are ready to tune in and get involved because we love to have your participation in what's going on. So I
sleeve?
think it's time for a little trivia. What do you think?
Okay, let's do some trivia.
Ready?
I'm with it.
Let's drop some trivia. Okay, you guys, here we go. In Feud, Betty and Joan. What award does Betty Davis hope to win for her performance in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Is it A? The Golden Glove. B, is this Bafanta? C, um, or BAFTA? Yeah,
BAFTA. Bafanta.
I know. I could. Ooh, Lord, you know what? Help me out, y'all. Y'all know I be messing some stuff up. C, Academy Awards, or D, the Emmy Awards. What is the answer? Come on and drop it like it's hot.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
I don't even know who Baby Jane is, honey.
You know what? This is really getting me because it's like the last few times, right? She always wanted to play, y'all. Now she getting to play. She like,
And I don't know none. But see, that's why I should have been playing in the first place because I don't know any of these answers.
oh
Y'all,
God.
shout out to everybody that's on Instagram watching us today. Hi to Anthony O'Neill. Hi to Charmaine. Glad y'all are joining us. Hi, Word on Beauty. Hair by Nathaniel J. The Real Coco Naya. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. Rox,
Absolutely.
happy to see you here. And
Yeah.
y'all share this live with any. Okay, let me say something. Let me tell y'all something. Before we do this answer to this trivia question, I work on wigs, and I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself a wig master because I know that there's still a lot of growth, and I love that.
Hmm.
But if you know anybody that is into wigs, that does wigs, likes wigs, wears wigs, orders wigs, styles wigs, please send them this live. You will be doing them a due diligence. They will probably buy you another Christmas gift if you send this to them. I'm just saying. I'm
Uh,
just saying.
I'm a second that emotion because our guess is like, I mean, she is the wig master. To watch her at work, you stand back and you clutch your pearls, honey, because she's just that amazing. I mean, I was looking at her when we were working on government cheese, and just to sit back and be able to be a student of hers from
Yes,
afar and up close,
yes,
it was just like wow. And the tips and tricks that she shows you,
yeah.
it's gonna change the game for you. She is simply amazing, in addition to having a wonderful and a beautiful personality. So, but before we
Awesome.
bring her on, I think we need to drop the answer to our trivia question. As a matter of fact, she actually worked on the feud. So,
Ooh, plot twist.
and yeah, she worked on feud. So, you know what? I know she knows the answer.
All right. Well, let's get a little drum pop, something like that.
Oh Lord, what's coming? Okay, okay. So the answer is C, Academy Award.
Ooh, okay. Hair by Nathaniel J said it was C. He was right.
Okay, go ahead, Daniel. High five to you. Oh my
Yeah, because I
God.
had no idea what it was.
We're gonna
I
maybe
had
we
no
can help
idea.
you out next week.
Yes, I need a little assistance with that one.
In 2025, you guys, you need to call all your friends, not some of them, but all your friends and tell them to make sure they're watching Vanny's Live. We're about to bring so much heat and so much fire to the table. But in addition to that, we love your feedback. If there's something or someone you would like to see on Vanny's Live, jump in our DM, put it in our comments, and we'll see what we can do to bring them to the stage.
Also, thank you to everybody on Facebook and watching from YouTube. Are we on TikTok live yet? Not yet,
Not
but
yet.
everybody watching from Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, thank y'all so much for being here again. And we're gonna hit y'all with another one. And yeah, I'm ready to talk to our guests.
Yeah, I mean, as we were saying earlier, the list goes on. Her resume is just phenomenal. But the work, some of the things that you've watched on TV and you looked at some of those hairstyles and some of those wigs, this is one of the ladies who, was the person behind all this amazing work. So you guys are going to love her. She's a straight shooter. That's what I love about her. Tell it like it is, but she's full of knowledge, information, and she's just a gem. If you want to connect, this is somebody you definitely want to be connected to. And if you're watching and you already know her, you already know we tell him 100% the truth. So I'm just excited to bring her to the table. and some of the amazing things that she's worked on. But we're going to let her share that information. So you ready to bring her in, sis?
Yes, before we bring her in, we're gonna have a quick little break, and we'll see y'all in a few seconds.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Para Paints, a real Motown gypsy, and y'all are tuning in to Vanities Live.
Try to get it
All
quick.
right, y'all. It's about time to bring our guest in. Again, share this live to everybody you know. You got to be here. You got to be in it. You miss it, I feel bad for you. Also, yeah, I lost my train of thought.
It'll come
Oh,
back.
I was gonna say questions. Make sure, y'all, we do see your questions. If you have questions, you feel free to put them in the comment section on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. If you have questions for Don, we will try to get to as many of y'all's questions as possible. But make sure you just throw them in the chat, and we'll scroll through and read them. Okay. So, without further ado, have a very warm Vanities Live welcome. Throw up some hearts and welcome our girl, Dawn Dudley.
Yay. Hey, John. I know, right? The real champion. We are so excited to have you.
I have to give you a warning. We might get a visit. I'm sorry, Charisse, but my
Ah.
kids are all up in this
Sorry, y'all.
situation. Of course.
Everybody already knows.
They're all wanting to participate now. So
She said, "Oh, how many is
They
it?"
wanted to come talk to Sharice. If you don't know, Sharice is
No.
not the biggest fan of cats, if y'all didn't know.
not. So,
Well, I'm
that's
highly
okay.
allergic, and I'm
But
petrified.
but you know they're good boys. So aside from the allergic part, there's nothing to be afraid of. But they might have to show they're
Okay.
all up in the right.
So that's my inner brain, but I don't think it's gonna work today. But anyway.
Hi, Dawn. We're
to
so
see you
happy
guys.
to have you. We are so happy you were able to come on and join us this Sunday as a guest and just show everybody why you are who you are. We want to give you your flowers. We think you're such an incredible, talented, amazing person.
Mhm.
Just from your demeanor on set to your talent, like, you know, I really enjoy working with you, and so does Sharice. And we talk about you all the time. Like, oh, did you
All
see
the
what?
time.
Did you see that wig Dawn did? Like, girl, Dawn be doing her
Yeah,
thing.
it's fire.
And we got to have you down in Texas for a little while too.
Yes,
So that was awesome.
it was awesome.
Hopefully there's more of that in the future.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yes.
But why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the guests? Let them know who you are, where you're from, what you do, and all that good stuff.
Okay. Well, my name is Dawn Dudley, and I am from Fort Worth, Texas. So your backyard now. I really have always done hair in some capacity. So I've never really had a day job. I was really fascinated by the hairdresser when I was a kid and
Okay.
just couldn't figure out how somebody could make all of that happen with all these little individual hairs. So even I remember being like 4 years old and going to the salon with my mom and just being mesmerized by the whole thing. So, but I also my mom was a graphic artist. My aunt was a painter, fine artist. So I had an art background and I was predisposed to art. So I was always involved in art and music and theater and all of that in school growing up, and kind of bounced around with what I was going to do with my life when I had to start making those decisions in college. And I fell in with the theater crowd, and then I went to a few different departments there, whether it was costuming or stage design, or even I went to a liberal arts school, Texas Wesleyan University. So it was a liberal arts program, so I had to do acting, we had to do all of it.
Wow.
I just naturally gravitated to the makeup and hair area, basically because there was nobody else in school that wanted to do it. So that's sometimes how that goes, and had a predisposition for it. My mother actually was very good at it, even though she came from the generation of, she didn't want me to be a hairdresser, which is a whole, we all, I think obviously it's a multi-billion-dollar industry, but she was old enough to be my grandmother. So she came from the time where, girls go to hair school because they're too dumb to do anything else. And I wasn't dumb. I was going to be a hairdresser. And so after I graduated from undergrad and announced that I was going to go to cosmetology school, I thought she was going to have a heart attack. So, but I had the plan. I wasn't long-term into the salon life. That wasn't my trajectory. So I did work in the salon for a few years, and that was very valuable experience. But I kept connected into theater, and really the first 20 years of my career was doing theater. There wasn't a lot going on in Texas at the time, so I kind of had to go out in a way. So I worked for festivals all over the country. I ended up in Chicago working for the Lyric Opera as a wig maker and a makeup artist. I did everything in the beginning. And over time, my interests just narrowed. And so I focused on the hair portion. A lot of because in our unions, they make us choose. So if I choose one over the other, hair over makeup, I was going to choose hair. And then that interest has distilled down into really the wig making, which is my favorite thing to do. Yeah. So, but as we all know, that union pays our health insurance. So I still do my set days so I can get my health care. But the wig making is what I love. And I have my company. It's called Well Dressed Wigs. And so I make both custom, and I have a small rental stock of wigs that are mainly for television and film. I do have the occasional private client, but I'm really more focused on the entertainment industry.
Wow, Don, that makes me think of I have two things to say. One of those things, celebration. One of those things, balloons came out of nowhere. One of those things is gonna be that I would like for you to address. The first thing would be I would like for you to tilt your head a little bit and then address the thing that's behind you. Just kind of give us a little info on that. And
yes.
then
that pretty little thing.
There. We see you back there, girl. Yes.
I know, right?
And then also love to know how you got into the wig rental business. Because there's so many hairstylists that are interested in doing something like that, but don't know what it takes, what that means for them. Do you just have a stock? Do you have to build wigs? Like that type of thing. And so I would like for you to address both of those things.
Okay, which one you want first?
Whichever you want first.
Okay, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk business, because that's how I am. Like, that's nice.
I know that's right.
Yeah. So, as hairstylists, a lot of us have accumulated a stock of wigs from working on set. I also had a stock of wigs that I brought forward from my theatrical days. And production needs, sometimes they don't either have the budget or the time or both to have something custom made. And with the way the trajectory of the industry is going, of having less and less time and less money, then the rental situation solves a lot of those problems, especially for like the, numbers further down on the call sheet that are really more either guests or their featured background where they're only going to play a few days or whatever. They're not going to shell out the kind of money that it takes to have something custom. So that's really how I got into it, is having my stock and seeing my fellow hairdressers be able to rent their wigs to production for these instances. And because I am also a wig maker, I can take a factory wig or a commercial wig, and I can put a new front on it. I can put a new top in it. I can make it look like a very expensive custom made wig, but with alterations and customizations rather than having to build everything from scratch. So I can create a stock a little faster that way. So when I have downtime, I work on that. And I've actually had quite a few wig rentals in these last few months, which is great because it's like free money. Here's a wig. I'll take the check.
Yeah.
You have to work for it. I mean, I've put the work in previously to get the wig ready to be on camera, but it already exists. Somebody calls me, they say, we need XYZ. Do you have anything? I look through my stock. I send them photos. They think, they like what I have. They either pick it up or I ship it out or whatever. It plays for however long it plays. It comes back at the end and I deposit the check, which is
Did you
nice.
always want to do wigs, Dawn? Is that something that you always wanted to do or fascinated with?
The wig, yeah, really, yes, because it's part and parcel with theater. I mean, it's very, I mean, as we know, we use a lot of wigs in film, a lot more than people realize, because people only really know it's a wig if it's bad.
Right.
If it's a wig, nobody knows it's a wig, which is the point. But with theater, they're really vital because you often have a play or a musical where you have actors playing multiple parts. They have to change characters in a quick change that can be as little as 30 seconds to change an entire costume wig and get out to make their cue. So I don't really, and plus it's also wig making is a very detailed, if you're into repetitive motion type activities, like if you're good at knitting or crocheting, or if you enjoy the zen of those kind of handcrafts, it's a good fit for anybody that has that patience to sit and do something over and over and over. So I kind of naturally fell into it that way because I have a predisposition for that.
Got you.
And
wait, because you still forgot
your friend in the back of you.
Oh, my friend in the back. Okay. Well, that was for season 2 of Westworld. And for the Westworld fans out there, it was episode 5, which was when the storyline took us into Shogun World. So it was all the geishas and the samurais. And my department head, Joy Zapata, who is a very dear friend of mine, kind of put me, because that show was so massive. There were so many units going on with different storylines being shot at the same time. Even she couldn't be in all places at once. So she kind of put me in charge of that episode because I have had experience in the past working on those kind of hairstyles, mostly in opera, doing like Madame Butterfly and so the geisha styling was familiar. But we were very focused on having it be really authentic and correct. And we also had obviously our Japanese cast who, we couldn't fake it. And they were really helpful in guiding us to make sure everything was really authentic. And, but I will say, and I always make this joke because you know me and this will crack. but I always joke that we won the Emmy with on YouTube videos and flowers from the dollar store, because we watched a lot of YouTube videos on traditional geisha hairstyling. I mean, obviously did massive amounts of other research. And all of the hair decorations that I made for the wigs for the main characters came from the dollar store. So the flowers.
That's crazy.
That. So it's like, yep, we won the Emmy with YouTube videos and dollar store flowers. So,
And no one would ever know. Well, unless now if they go to Vanity's Live.
Well, and that's why that's the magic of, and plus coming from theater, I do that all the time. Like that, working in theater is an exercise in making a silk purse out of a sow's ear. So you have to take the least expensive nothing and turn it into something amazing. So that was.
And that's what makes you such a great hairstylist, when you can take nothing and make it into something and make it look so natural and believable. Not only do you feel good, it plays well on TV as well. So that's awesome. How do you approach creating?
I like money, so I love that I can take something that's worthless to someone and turn it into something beautiful. So.
And look really natural. How do you approach creating wigs that match a specific character or period of time in history?
Well, you would start with your research. So anytime, whether I'm, designing a look for someone specific, or if I'm just going into day play on a show, I find out what time period it is. I find out what the scene is, whether it's a formal event, or if it's like street people, or like what's going on in the scene. Find out what year it is, and then I just start pulling images of, and also the location, because hair in different countries and different times is obviously, there's a wide gamut of differences there. So I have a lot of research in my library, but I do, I just start Googling. And I save a bunch of images on my phone. And then when I walk into that bullpen or whatever, where I'm styling hair, I can, if I get stumped, I can pull out my phone. I can look at those pictures and kind of look at the person in my chair and put together something that is going to be appropriate for that time. So
I don't know if people really get how important research is. And then even like you said, if you're doing, a specific type of movie, you need to know the exact city or state that it's happening in, because what's happening in one city and state or one part of the country may not be something that will happen in another part of the country, or even in that state, in that city. So you have to be very specific in your research, so that you can be dead on and in creating those characters for that era, that location, and that time.
Right.
And research is a lot easier now, because, I can put into Google ladies' French hairstyles in 1860.
Right.
Poof, all these images come up. Or, like you say, a state, a country, a demographic of people, whether it's a social status or whatever. You just put in as much information into your search as you can, or old
I think
school
that's why it's good to have those books too, like the history books. Because that way you just flip right on through. Sharice found these books that are these little small little.
I got those from Dawn.
When we were government cheese, we were all up in eBay every day finding those little hairstyling books, and those were printed for actual people to use back then. It wasn't for a theater thing or whatever. So those were little books that would be like at the checkout at the drugstore that women would buy to learn how to do their own hair at home. So they're very authentic. They're definitely
Yes,
from
they
the
are.
time period. You can look at the date that they're printed, and it has the date of whether it's 1960, 1970, whatever. And those were the contemporary hairstyles of that day. So it's not a game of telephone.
Exactly how to do it.
Somebody that wrote another book that said, well, way back then they looked like this. This was the actual book that people were doing their contemporary hair from in that time. So,
Excuse me.
Well, before we move on, I think it's time for us to take a quick little break, just a couple of seconds. I do see some questions on Instagram from some of our friends that are watching with us. So we are going to get to those and some more questions when we get back. We will see y'all in just a few seconds. Don't go nowhere.
I'm looking for somebody I can call. Looking for the only one I can get my own. Tell me that it's true.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
I wanna ask you. I wanna ask one of these questions before we get to our first game. We have a question for you, Dawn, from Fisk Film Hair, which I believe is Chelsea Fisk. And she asked, on 1923, when you were part of the hair team styling wigs, what was your favorite product to use to set finger waves? I noticed everyone used something different. Did you have a favorite?
well, there was a day on that show that the entire schedule had gotten changed, and a huge contingent of hairstylists from LA were flown out, and then we had nothing to do.
Right.
So we all came in for the day into the trailer or into the wherever our work area was to style wigs to have on hold for future needs, episodes, whatever. So we were doing wet finger waves. And what I found to be most helpful at that time is like these styling foams, but like that have that are strong hold. I mean, back in the day in hair school, when I was back in, dinosaur times, we used gel, like dippity doo or whatever it was. Which is not as easy to manipulate. Obviously, you can water it down to make it, a more malleable consistency. But I would say for the wet waves that these styling foams, and I don't necessarily have a particular brand because I'm not a brand girl. I'm like, hand me a comb and a can of hairspray and send me to set, and I'm fine. I don't care. Like,
and she's that good, you guys, that she will grab anything.
My favorite brand is Free because I got it on set for free. I mean, there's a few products, I guess, that I do. I can't even say that there's names per se. There's types of products that I like to have. So any of the styling foams that you can get at either, our professional beauty supplies or Sally's or, a neighborhood beauty supply. But I would say you want strong hold styling foam for those wet waves. And you have to keep the hair really, really wet, like dripping on the floor wet. So,
for sure.
Okay.
Well, I think it's for us to play a game, and then we can get back to our questions. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
So are you ready, Dawn?
Sure.
She's like, what's coming my way? So we're going to play Would You Rather. So we want you to tell us, what would you rather do? Would you rather never age physically or never age mentally?
I guess physically because, Ray, you're not here. You're not there yet, but Sharice and I can have a conversation about it. Like,
she threw me under the
things are getting a little creaky. Things are getting a little stiff. Things don't really work as well as they used to, kind of thing. So, yeah, I guess physically, I would say.
Yeah. Okay.
Not mentally. For God's sake, I'd never go back. Ugh.
Oh God, yeah, I
Would
agree.
you rather always have a great outfit or a great hairstyle?
I guess
Ooh.
hairstyle because it's attached. I don't
Would
know.
you
I feel like I've kind of turned into Steve Jobs with my wardrobe. Like it's all black, it's all comfortable, it's all kind of the
rather
same.
black
So clothes, whatever. But yeah,
hairstyle?
I
Okay.
have to say I have been blessed with good hair. So
Yes, you have, honey.
I
Your hair is
will take.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Y'all,
I
this
will
is her
take.
natural curl pattern. She woke up like this.
Well, I mean, there's a little work, but not much.
A little
So I
something,
was
just a little bit.
so
Would
I
you
will take
rather
it.
live without TV or live without music?
Ugh.
Mm.
Probably now, like when I was younger, I would probably say music, but I don't know if everyone experiences this, but my attachment to music over time is not it's not as deep as it was.
Mm-hmm.
TV, man, like I stream a lot of content when I'm making wigs. So
Mm.
if I only had music to listen to while I was sitting for hours and hours and hours in a room tying little knots with hair, I think I might go a little insane. So
Okay. Would you rather explore space or explore the deep ocean? She like, where are these coming from?
honestly,
I'm like, honey.
probably probably the ocean, but I don't want to be exploding any submersibles. Like I'm not an
Ooh,
adventure.
honey.
I'm not going to be climbing Everest.
Me
No.
neither. I'm not that girl. I'm like, no.
Mm-mm.
Not even the roller coaster. You can have it. I'll hold your purse.
Well, I used to
Mm-mm.
enjoy them. I don't know. I haven't been on one in so many years. I'd probably go on one and like throw out my neck or something now. But I used to love them. So,
It's never been my thing. Would you rather have the power to heal others or to change the past?
ugh. I
Mm.
think I changed the past.
Okay. Would you rather win the lottery or find your perfect career?
Lottery, lottery.
Hands down the lottery.
Lottery
Hands
means don't have to
down.
work ever again. Great.
And last, would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to shout?
Uh, whisper,
Yeah.
whisper. Yeah, for sure.
Dawn said, where did you get these questions from? We kind of like to get a feel for you and let everybody know how you think a little bit outside of doing hair.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Dawn, what would be one of your favorite go-to products? Or I'll get more specific. Adhesives for lace wigs.
Mm.
Um, I have generally used I think that the most popular spirit gum right now is KD 151.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have found another one that I actually like a little better. It's by Premier Products, and it's their matte spirit gum. It's really
Listen up,
matte.
you guys. Can you repeat that one more time?
It's PPI or Premier
Mhm.
Products spirit gum.
Okay.
The it's a matte spirit gum. I
Okay.
like that, but I've actually been
Mm.
really curious to, and I'm not really sure how to go about testing it because you don't really want to be experimenting on your actor when they're on camera. But a
No.
lot of I've bought some of these lace jellies, like Bold Hold makes this lace jelly.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot of the gels and the spray, the melting sprays and all that. And if I could figure out how to make them work without having to put that band down,
Yeah.
because I don't one of the dead giveaways of a wig is when that hairline is flat.
Yeah. You know what I
Um,
tend to do, Dawn? Instead of taking that band and holding it down, I'll take it right around it and kind of smooth it across, and it makes it seal just like that.
And
Mm.
how long do you have to leave it? Not very
I
long.
don't leave it on at all. I'll take it and kind of press it on the hair and go around the shape of it and remove it, and it seals it immediately.
You
I'll
can
say,
also add a little heat to it, and then
Mhm.
take a small tooth comb and go in there and lift those hairs up so they're not laying down flat on the lace.
Absolutely.
You just
Absolutely.
lift them as you blow dry, and then you can press down, and it presses the lace down, but keeps the hair lifted up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people,
That's useful.
a lot of people have spirit gum allergies, or they're just really
Mm-hmm.
sensitive skin, and you don't want to have to put alcohol on them to remove it at the end of the night. So something
yeah.
that would just
Yeah.
come off with water would be kind of cool. So I've
Mm-hmm.
tried them. I've kind of introduced the. Once in a while, I'll get a private client and I'll say, "Why don't you give this a try?" Because the stakes aren't so high with
Mm-hmm.
it's lifting up on in the middle of a shot or whatever. But I've been
Right.
curious about some of the newer lace the lace adhesive technologies. But the go-to is spirit gum, has been for decades, and but my favorite one is by PPI right now.
Dawn,
Okay.
can you speak to the effects of drinking alcohol and what it does when someone's wearing a lace wig? Because a lot of people
Okay,
don't know that that's a real thing.
it is a real thing. I've known that for a long time. Not only drinking, but also having a lot of sodium in your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as we
Mm-hmm.
know, alcohol dissolves spirit gum.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if you are heavily drinking and your body is processing that alcohol, it's going to come out through your pores
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and it will dissolve that adhesive.
Yep.
The same with salt, because as we know, salt or sweat has a lot of salt in it. So if you are predisposed to sweat a lot and you have a high sodium diet, which kind of goes hand in hand, because if you're retaining a lot of water, you would sweat. You would tend to be sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Salt retaining water coming out through your pores, it will crystallize in the spirit gum. So if you've ever had,
Mm-hmm.
it happens a lot with men with facial hair, but sometimes it'll happen in the wig
Yeah.
lace too,
On the lace, yeah.
where you see white little crystals start to form in the
Mm-hmm.
that is your body's salt. So to have the best adhesion, you want to not eat a lot of high sodium processed foods and not drink a lot, especially if you're in a role where you're sweating, because
Mm-hmm.
it's all out through your pores.
What do you
Yeah,
tend
pores, yeah.
to run across a situation like that?
There is a product called Super Baldies, which
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
a prosthetic. It's ball cap plastic, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It's alcohol soluble ball cap plastic. So it's really meant to make ball caps, but it can be used as a adhesive, and it
Mm-hmm.
can also be mixed with spirit gum. So if you want to bump up your spirit gum strength, if you don't want plain Super Baldies, which I use a lot on stunts, or even if a wig has to go underwater or in the shower or whatever, you can use it full strength. You dilute it with alcohol, but you use it full strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's maximum hold. But if
She
you
Okay.
dropped some knowledge, you guys. I don't know if you caught that, but this would be a game changer. So take that and put that in your arsenal, because that is a phenomenal tip that I learned from Dawn myself.
But if you want to
So
split the
what are
difference of strength, you can use 30% Super Baldies and 70% spirit gum,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
and it will make your spirit gum stick better, but not be so difficult to remove.
It is.
Okay. That's what my question was about to be, like, what were your measurements or that you use, in that mixture.
And
Okay.
honestly, when I
Okay.
give a
Noted.
I'm kind of like the Julia Childs of mixing stuff, like a little of this, a little of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
a little more spirit gum than Super Baldies. Okay, you don't have to be getting out the season gums and
It
measuring.
works
Okay.
amazing.
So,
Okay.
you could experiment. You could try 50-50. You could try, there's no rules. So,
And
just
another question from our viewers: Would you still use alcohol to remove it with the Super Baldies and the Spirit Gum? Would you still use alcohol
yes,
to remove it?
Baldies is removed with alcohol. You want to be very careful not to mistakenly buy Baldies because that is acetone soluble. So you would have to use acetone to get it off the skin.
Let our fan base know what type of alcohol to use, because some people don't know the difference between 70%, 91, and 99.
Okay. I use, usually on set, we use 99 because there's usually a big gallon jug of it somewhere. But I also use the 91% from the drugstore. So if you have anywhere in that 91 to 99 range, the 70 will still work. It will just be slower to dissolve it.
A lot.
Yeah. So yeah, anyone, if you need to run to CVS and get a bottle of 91%, it's fine. It'll work fine.
Okay.
But 99 is the recommended
recommended
percentage.
alcohol percentage. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's time for us to play another game.
Okay.
This game is for you, Don, but you have the option to use the audience if you don't know the answer. And audience, you guys can play along too. She can't see y'all's comments, but I can. So feel free to put your answers, drop your answers in the comments. But let's play Name That Wig. Now, y'all don't laugh at my little animations and stuff, okay? First wig. Y'all ready? Where is this wig from? That is insane.
I mean,
It is insane.
I don't remember this one, but it has to be Bridgerton.
Ding, 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 ding.
Dawn.
Do you know who in Bridgerton?
I mean, most of these super elaborate ones were on Queen Charlotte, so I assume, but I don't remember this one. Why don't I remember this one?
It's gorgeous.
It was Queen Charlotte.
Huh. So
Unless I'm like, I looked it up and found it online. Unless AI created and try to make something up, trying to get out of here, AI. But this is,
I don't know. I would assume it would be Queen Charlotte, but I don't remember, to be honest.
Look at it, y'all. Like, look at that.
The details. I mean,
it is wild.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yes, you got it correct, Bridgerton, and that is Queen Charlotte. All right, next wig. Name that wig.
Oh my gosh. I think I know who that is.
Who is that, Don?
I have no idea.
Do you want to use a lifeline?
Yeah, because whatever this was, I haven't seen it.
Okay, your lifeline, here by Nathaniel J, says Storm.
What is that?
Halle
That's
Berry.
Storm from X-Men, Halle Berry.
Oh, I was gonna say Halle Berry. But and then here's the other thing with me, and I'm really sorry, but I'm just not into the comic book thing. I'm not into the graphic novel thing. I don't watch Marvel. I don't watch any of that. I know it makes me a bad industry person or whatever, but
no, it doesn't.
I do not know all the lore of that genre. So I concede to the audience on all of that, because if it's from one of those movies, I'm probably not going to know it unless it's been on a billboard somewhere or in the advertising.
Well, with that being said, next one
tiny.
you may need to ask the audience again.
I may, but oh well, isn't that Scarlett Johansson? I don't remember what character she played.
Yep.
But
This was
gotta watch those
X-Men.
X-Men. Okay, sure, yeah.
It looks
And
great.
I can't remember the name of the character she played, but yes, that was X-Men. Okay. Now, who is this?
Ooh.
Samuel L. Jackson, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Is
is,
it
honey.
from? Is it from? Wasn't he in a movie about Alzheimer's? What? I can't remember the name of it.
You on the right track.
And it looks great, by the way.
Was Camille the department head?
Probably so.
Probably.
Oh crap! It's like
But you're on the right track.
I can see the poster and everything. I just can't think of the name of the movie.
You want to use another lifeline?
Yeah, because I can't think of it.
Come on, you guys. Who is it? What show?
Either I don't think was this Glass?
No, that's not the one I'm thinking of, but
Glass or the other one where you had the guy with schizophrenia.
Maybe it's more recent than Glass.
Lord, what is the name of the movie? But he was the character that he is in Glass in this movie because he was in that wheelchair.
Oh, see again.
The name of the movie. And
I can tell it's Samuel L. Jackson, but I don't remember.
It is Samuel L. Jackson. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
these MF snakes on that MF plane. Okay. Last one. Who that?
If she doesn't know this, I'm gonna scream.
Come on now.
And the the designer was phenomenal. She did an amazing job.
Well, no, I didn't style it, but I made the wig. I customized the wig. So I put the sideburns and streaks and the widow's peak and all of that. But that film was shot. That was in the Munsters, and it was what the hell is his name? That's terrible that I can't even remember the name of my own. That was shot in Budapest.
Sprung it up on you.
It was shot where?
It was shot in Budapest. So that was all local talent from Budapest.
Nice.
Oh, come on, Grandpa Munster.
Grandpa Munster. There you go.
Yes.
I did not style it, so I'm not taking it. I'm big on not taking credit for other people's work.
I love that.
It looks amazing.
So we do have some more questions. This question is from Charmaine. Charmaine loves hair. What are some of your go-to tools and products that you must have in your set bag?
Okay, so again, not a product whore. So I will tell you what I can't do without, and it's more about types of products rather than brands per se.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have a hairspray that's not too wet, like aerosol that doesn't go on really wet. I hate that. So I need a dry, like a micro mist hairspray that dries really quickly and doesn't leave little globules of hairspray on the hair. I hate that. Osis makes a good one. It's called the Stronghold one is called Concrete, but it's really more about how the product sprays out of the bottle than it is the specific brand. I have to have texture powder.
Yes.
Whether again that's an Osis product or any of those texture powders that you put in your fingers and rub it together and it feels like it's dry, but it gives you it takes away slip. In my little atomizer that kind of looks like insecticide powder or whatever. Poof poof. Um, Texture powder in the atomizer takes the place of aggressive back combing,
Yes.
which
Okay.
is easier on people's hair. It's easier for these actors to get home and get it out themselves, because we know that, especially with background, they're not getting help, and to make it as idiot proof for them to deal with at home at the end of the night when they want to just get in the shower and dunk their head under the faucet and not have brushed any of it out. Like, ugh. So yeah, a fine mist hairspray, texture powder. Honestly, with those two things, for women, I mean, I guess with guys, I like a, depending on what, you need a strong gel.
Yeah.
So anything that has to hold. I hate aerogel from the fact that it goes on wet, but
Okay.
I use it for setting a man's hairstyle that needs to not move. So if you've put in, like we were doing on 1923, these sort of wet look, whether it's a finger wave in it, and it's all very groomed looking, and then I'll black it with aerogel, and it'll stay all day. But I don't like to style a woman's hair and use aerogel on it because it goes on wet. I will use a different kind of spray for that, or the Got to Be spray.
Oh yeah, I love Got to Be.
Works the same as aerogel, but I don't like that for women styling, but it's good for locking in men's hair. I guess for men, I like to have like a styling cream that has a little bit of hold, but if I don't want it to be so, just something to give it some control so it doesn't just all like puff away. But yeah, as long as I have my texture powder and of course dry shampoo, because people don't bathe.
Dawn, who has been some of your mentors in the business?
There might be a few people out there who might recognize this name, but my hair and makeup teacher in graduate school, her name was Lena Kaleva. And she's retired now, but she was my professor. And so I obviously credit her with the majority of my knowledge because I spent 2 years with her in graduate school. And then she tapped me to take over the program when she retired. And I taught the program for 2 years after she left.
Wow.
So,
I do want to touch on something we didn't touch on. I don't know if people know that you are an educator. You teach other people how to do wigs and how to be very proficient at it.
I am available for that. I don't necessarily have a formal program put together, but what I tell, well, that's kind of a lie, but let me go back to that. What I tell people is I'm happy because all our schedules are so crazy and it's difficult to schedule time.
Right.
So what I tell people is if you want to schedule either a one-on-one or if you want to get a group together and we'll all plan a session, we can do that. That makes it remain flexible for everybody involved. I have in the past started to teach with V. Neal's school, which is Legends Makeup Academy. She asked me to teach her facial hair construction classes. So those are those I've done a few times and I would expect to do some more in the future. But because it is facial hair and because facial hair is technically the makeup department, it doesn't mean that hairstylists can't take it. And I actually encourage hairstylists to take the facial hair courses, because when you're learning wig making, it's the natural progression to go from
Uh-oh.
No.
Well, we need to get her back because we're
Oh.
live. And let's see if we can get her back on real quick.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, in between time, thank you guys for joining us today. We are coming close to the end of our show here. But thank you guys for being here with us, for being interactive with us. And we really just appreciate y'all being here. We're gonna try to see if we can get her back real quick, so we can wrap out this
The gems
show.
that she dropped were like, if you take on a couple of those gems that she dropped, it's going to change the game for you. It really, really is. She's a phenomenal teacher. She's just
looks like we got her back.
Maker.
Hi. I don't know what happened. Sorry.
Oh, it happens.
So the facial hair classes. So it's a natural progression to learn how to make facial hair before you go into wigs, because it's pretty daunting when you're first starting out. Okay, we're going to make this wig. And it takes me anywhere from 80 to 120 hours to make a wig. It would take a new person, 6 months? That's a pretty
weeks
to take on. So how about we start with the mustache?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I encourage hairstylists to still take the facial hair courses, because the ventilating skill is the same.
Yeah.
But you're moving on digestible projects, so you can feel some sense of accomplishment before you move on to something bigger.
Yeah.
So I have been teaching classes for Legends Makeup Academy and expect to continue to do so. But yeah, and I've done private. I did not for wig making, but I've done private sessions with Charisse. I've done private sessions with folks here in LA. I've had people fly in from like Vegas and Chicago to come to, and I'm really informal, so
she
I'm,
really is just amazing.
In my dining room, like we're real low key.
Like, just come over.
Yeah, like there doesn't.
Don, we are so grateful for you just taking your time out on this Sunday to spend it with us, and we've come to the end of our show.
Yes.
And before we leave, do you have any parting words for anybody that wants to do what you do, Don? Anybody that wants to get into this industry and just be a game changer like you? Do you have any parting words?
Wow, that is a really deep subject for a whole other live.
We'll have to bring you back on to go into detail.
Because when I say
when it comes to wig making, nothing about wig making is fast. So you can't come into it expecting instant gratification. You can't come into it expecting to be perfect right off the bat. It takes time, and that's kind of antithetical to where this industry is going. So it's a hard question to answer.
It's the crazy wigs, right?
That's a hard question to answer. It's a craft, and it takes years to become proficient at the level at this level. But that shouldn't stop you, but just have realistic expectations.
Can you tell people where they can find you or ask a question if they want to get in touch with you?
My Instagram is Well Dressed Wigs, and you can DM me there. That's probably the best place, I think. I'm not, you guys are so like poised and polished with all this social media thing. I'm like,
no.
You're gonna focus on wigs because that's what you do, and we
have
love
a website, also. I'm old school.
It's okay.
That being said,
but we love that about you.
My Instagram page it's for work. I don't post personal stuff on Instagram. That's Facebook. But you could also, I do have a Well Dressed Wigs page on Facebook, but I don't really pay as much attention to that one. So Instagram would be the best way to reach out.
Okay. And I put her Instagram handle in the comments, you guys. Go follow Dawn.
Yes.
Keep up with her and all the amazing things that she's been doing in this industry, these incredible wigs and, you know, all the people that she's worked with. And we want to thank you again. The audience was so happy to be able to interact with you again today. So thank you, Dawn, for
Yeah,
being with
thank you
us.
for
And we
coming
really
on.
hope to be able to, you know,
Rub
team up with you,
shoulders
lock
with her.
in with you again in the future. Maybe a
Yes.
wig class.
There's actually something on the horizon that, because I've learned not to get excited until something happens.
Yeah, I
Like,
know, right?
Until it happens, right? Or it's about to happen.
keep your business quiet. Don't talk about
Yeah,
it.
that's
Just
right.
do it.
Absolutely. I
I
love
like
that.
you.
Those some great parting words.
Okay. Let's say,
If
don't tell the dishwasher what you're doing with your dishes.
if what is in the pipeline comes to fruition, I'll be back in touch and we can do another live about it.
All
If you
right,
want.
Okay.
sounds great.
Let's do it. So
Well,
it's a date.
thank you so much for coming on, Dawn. We really appreciate you. Thank you to all of our viewers who are watching us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Make sure you follow Dawn. She was amazing as we expected her to be. And we just want to say thank you again. She deserves all the flowers for all the amazing things that she's done in her career. Make sure you guys follow her. Tune back in with us next Sunday in 2025, you guys.
Yes, we will see y'all in 2025. Everybody have an amazing New Year's Eve and New Year with your family and celebrating with your family and friends and loved ones. And we will see y'all then.
Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.